Okay, here we are again with Jack on his walk. He's got interest in something. Come on, Jack. Never mind what that is. I see another dog up there. There's another dog up there. Leave him alone, Jack. Right. Well, what I'm going to talk about today, just trying to make this camera work with the external mic today. See how that goes. I guess we'll talk about what's coming, I guess, or in my opinion, what's coming. I watched a little video this morning before coming out, and it was talking about immigrant gangs in a place called Aurora. I'm not quite sure where that is, I didn't look it up. I think it's in Texas, I'm not sure. And these are gangs who are going around to apartment blocks, well armed, and just taking over people's homes, throwing them out, or just raiding them, stealing their food, whatever they can get their hands on. And another video I watched yesterday was, I think it was in New York, and there were 3 hotels on this street, and all of them were full of migrants. Now these weren't cheap hotels. These were quite swanky looking hotels. I think they were in Bronx actually, so maybe they weren't that swanky, but certainly, you know, hotels that would get brand new furniture delivered. I don't know why you'd need that in a hotel. I thought they already had furniture, but there you go. It's great money for the hotel keeper, isn't it? Guaranteed income. Every room full every night, and good old taxpayer pays for it all, of course. Amazing. And I'm sure they're charging top whack for that. The room rates, which you and I could never afford, really. But yeah, and even one little video I saw this morning where the US military, the army, has taken over a hotel in New York, and it's full of soldiers. Now, what could possibly be the need for that? And when I say taken over, I mean they're behind the reception desk, everything. The whole staff are military. The same kind of thing's happening in Ireland, of course, hotels, and in Britain. Not just hotels, big country estates, really lavish properties, been taken over by migrants. And I don't know what people are going to do, because it would appear to me that at some point these military aged young men are going to be unleashed on the public, or maybe they'll just be told to go out and cause all sorts of mayhem and get people to try and fight back, and then the military can come in, martial law. Who knows which way it's going to go, but it's not going to end well, is it? Clearly it's not going to end well. What do you think, Jack? What do you think, Jack? Eh? What do you think? You don't care. Ain't going to affect him. Yeah, isn't it amazing that human beings are supposed to be the pinnacle of civilization, right? The top of the animal kingdom and all that kind of thing. We are the ultimate predators, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, which of course we are. We can kill anything, can't we? And unfortunately we kill everything, including ourselves. But yeah, we are the pinnacle of you know, supposed intelligence and stuff. But yeah, we are. All we seem to do is destroy things and then kill people, whatever. Sad, really. But yeah, the animals of the world just get on. Yeah, I'm sure Jack would fight with another dog, but and maybe kill it even. But that's just the nature of a wild animal, survival thing. But human beings really are capable of the most evil things in the world, aren't they? Even the people that make the weapons, what goes through their heads? Don't they understand that these weapons one day could be used on them? And probably will be. Sorry, Jack's tangling me up here. I have to go in a circle. There we go. And he's investigating. The weapons makers. I remember Alan talking about the psychopaths, and they'd be really nice people, and they'd not only make sure you had enough to eat and drink if you went out to their house, but they were making weapons of mass destruction to slaughter hundreds, thousands of people, or even nuclear weapons to kill millions. I mean, what kind of creatures are we that we can do that? Well, maybe there are two different species already. As Russell said, humanity would split into two distinct species. I think we're there, because there are pure evil people in this world, and capable of doing things that none of us, at least listening to this for sure, would ever dream of doing to anybody. People left to their own devices, ordinary people, doesn't matter where in the world they're from, would get along if it wasn't for the interference in their lives, in terms of giving them their world views, or having them, these Africans, Asians, whatever, are coming over from countries which have been destroyed primarily by the West. Now, if the West hadn't got involved in Africa, Asia, etc., we wouldn't be having all these influx of migrants at all. And maybe they'd be living in terrible conditions over there, or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'd have done something about things themselves and created a better country for themselves. But as it is, they're coming over here, or over to Europe, or wherever. And they're coming over from backgrounds which just are not conducive with life in the West in any shape or form. Not just their behaviour, their whole belief systems are different. Their culture obviously is different. Their religion is different, if they have any. I doubt a lot of these guys believe in anything except what they're told by the people who are bringing them into these other countries, that they're going to have a better life. Well, they're not going to have a better life. What they're going to have is a sense of dominance over the populations that they've been inserted into. They're not going to have any peace, I would suggest, because they're going to be in a permanent state of conflict with local people. They're not going to assimilate, because that's not what they're here for. They're here to destroy the country and basically take it over for the people who brought them there. They are an army, and they'll do what armies do, and that's kill people. Jack's trying to get down the hill for some reason. Come on, Jack, get back up here. So yeah, when it's going to kick off, I don't know, but I think it certainly is going to kick off. And I don't think it could be too much longer, because people are getting quite irate about it, and rightly so. So watch this space. Watch this space. We're in for a hell of a roller coaster in the next year or two. We know they have targets for 2025, and we know they have big targets for 2030. So it's going to happen within the next 5-6 years. All this change which is happening now is just going to accelerate, and I think the world in 5 years' time will be totally unrecognisable, even from the way it is today, as it is unrecognisable today as it was 4 years ago. It's amazing how quickly they can change things, isn't it? Through propaganda, lies, deceit. Amazing, quite amazing. Can you imagine if they actually, were good people, and they could change society so quickly? Don't you think we'd live in a far better world? They could change society back into some kind of moral structure, and fix the problems, fix the poverty, fix the hunger, because it's all out there to be fixed, and it could be fixed easily, very easily. But unfortunately, those who run the world are evil, and they will perpetuate evil because that's just in their nature. How many people say they hate humanity, human beings? I think there's a distinction there. They hate humanity in terms of, you know, I don't know how to put this. Humanity is a great thing. Look where it's got us. Never mind what's been done to us. Look what man or mankind has achieved in quite a short period of time, really. If you think over even the past couple of 100 years, look where we've come from to what we've got now, the technology. Imagine that technology being used for good, which it certainly could be, I'm sure. Imagine we all had real freedom to do what we want as long as we harm nobody else and get on with our lives and treat people with respect that we wish to be treated with. The world would be such a great place. And I think, as I said on the last walk with Jack, who's, you know, he's got his selective deafness again, look. Hey Jack, smile for the camera. Jack. There you go. Yes, people want to see you. Yeah, if all that technology was used for good things, and the technology that's been used for propaganda, if the censorship went, if people could actually have free speech, that's one simple thing, free speech, that would change things. The reason they have to censor things is because the truth can damage them, obviously, or they wouldn't be censoring, right? There can be only one narrative, and that's their narrative, which is destructive. Humanity is creative. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Humanity is very, very creative. And we could build a better world, obviously, if we were allowed to do so, if we had the freedom to do so, if we had honest people. I don't need, forget politicians. We don't need politicians. What we need are just honest people to run infrastructure. We don't need this big education system. We don't need this big health service system. Because if things were open and transparent, we'd have the proper medicines, the proper food. We wouldn't be poisoning people with, junk. I do wonder if we can ever get back to a real human being, a whole race of human beings who could think. Can you imagine if people could actually think anymore? Television was gone, or wasn't invented in the first place. We don't need television. What good purpose does it serve? Oh, people will say it's entertainment. Oh, well, I love a good movie. Yeah, fine. 100 years ago, they didn't have it. Or certainly not to this degree. 100 years ago, 1924. Yeah, television. Get rid of it. If you're going to rebuild society, say everything did collapse, like I mentioned the other day, there's a massive nuclear exchange which got out of hand, which is, we're dealing with lunatics. We're dealing with absolute lunatics. Anybody who would fire one nuclear weapon will fire as many as they like, and they don't care how many people die, because it won't be them. Not there and then anyway, until they start fighting amongst themselves, of course. Yeah, the world could be a far better place if we started again, because I think, as I said the last time, that's the only way this is ever going to get resolved. There's no going back to the good old days. The good old days. I was thinking about that yesterday. Thinking if you ask somebody what the good old days were, and they say, the 70s or whatever, you say, look how much has changed between then and now. Do you think that's by accident? and they probably wouldn't have an answer. They'll just say that's progress. Progress as we go backwards and sink into absolute depravity and insanity. Let's just take a little walk down to the lake. Let's see all these fish jumping here. We've got alligators in here. We've got fish called gar. If you want to look them up, they're horrible things. I've caught a few of them. You don't want to catch them. It's like catching a mini alligator. We've got bluegill. Oh, there's one just jumped there. I don't know if the camera picked up. We have bass. I've got a bass in here. Nice sized bass. Yeah, bluegill, gar, bass, catfish of course. And I'm not sure, there may be some tilapia in there, which are an invasive species here, and you're not supposed to put them back in the water. So there you go. If you want free tilapia, you just go fishing. Right, I'll leave it at that because I don't want to make these too long, or they don't upload properly and they split into 2-3 different parts. So Jack, with that, Jack, we'll say good night or good afternoon, or well, it's early morning here, so good morning.